Hello friends. Imagine two flames, roaring independently, fueled by pride, passion, and ambition. Now imagine these flames meeting, not to extinguish one another, but to burn even brighter. That's what happens when a Leo man and an Aries woman collide in love, life, and everything in between. But can this fire duo handle the heat, or will they burn out as fast as they ignite? Let's explore one of the zodiac's boldest and most magnetic matchups, Leo man and Aries woman compatibility, from the passionate highs to the potentially explosive lows. We're diving deep into love, sex, marriage, friendship, and business, peeling back the layers of cosmic chemistry to discover what truly makes this fiery pair tick, or explode. Love, the passionate power couple. When a Leo man locks eyes with an Aries woman, the atmosphere changes. It's not just chemistry, it's combustion. These two don't fall in love quietly. It's loud, colorful, impulsive, and unforgettable. Both are fire signs, and when their energies align, they create a magnetic field of attraction that's impossible to ignore. The Leo man radiates charm and gravitas, commanding admiration without uttering a single word. He has a theatrical nature and a flair for the grandiose. Dinner dates become events, compliments feel like declarations, and even casual glances carry weight. The Aries woman, on the other hand, is raw power. She's not the type to sit around waiting for love, she seeks it, charges into it, and doesn't hesitate to make her desires known. She's captivated by the Leo's lion-like confidence, his commanding presence, and the sense that he could rule the world, with her at his side, of course. What makes their initial connection so electric is the mutual recognition of strength. Aries doesn't shrink in Leo's light, she blazes alongside him. She's not intimidated by his grandeur, she matches it with her own fearless authenticity. Leo, for his part, isn't overwhelmed by Aries' boldness. In fact, he welcomes the challenge, even craves it. He admires her ability to stand her ground, to make bold moves without hesitation. There's no need for games between these two. Their love story often starts with instant chemistry and escalates fast, bold confessions, passionate arguments, and declarations of devotion that sound like something out of a Greek myth. But the beauty of their bond doesn't stop at physical attraction, it's in their shared zest for life. These two don't want a quiet, stable romance, they want passion, purpose, and excitement. They thrive on being each other's muses, fueling each other's fire. Aries will push Leo to take bold steps, to dream bigger, to act faster. Leo will inspire Aries to see the bigger picture, to lead with both heart and strategy. They make each other better, sharper, more alive. However, their intensity doesn't come without risk. The same fire that ignites their love can also scorch their connection if not handled carefully. At the core of this passionate pairing is a deep emotional current often underestimated. Aries may be impulsive, but she's not shallow. When she falls hard, and she expects the same devotion in return. Leo, despite his royal demeanor, is deeply loyal and emotionally generous to those he loves. He seeks not just admiration, but also genuine connection. When these two lower their guards, the result is a bond that's both powerful and profoundly intimate. They're the kind of couple that finishes each other's sentences, plans wild adventures on a whim, and stands together through thick and thin, so long as their egos don't get the best of them. And here lies the crux of their love dynamic, the battle of pride versus independence. Leo's pride can be easily bruised, especially if he feels unappreciated. He thrives on being admired, not just in public, but in the private gaze of his lover. Aries, meanwhile, guards her independence fiercely. She doesn't want to be ruled, she wants to be respected. If Leo becomes too controlling, or if Aries becomes too dismissive, their fire can turn into a standoff. Arguments between them are not gentle, they're full volume, full color, and unforgettable. But the upside? Neither holds grudges for long. Aries forgives quickly, and Leo, while slower to back down, often melts in the warmth of genuine affection. When both partners learn to check their pride at the door, something amazing happens: they become a team. Not just lovers, but allies, protectors, and co-dreamers. Leo offers Aries the warmth of consistency and emotional grounding, while Aries brings adventure, challenge, and raw energy into Leo's world. They become the couple everyone talks about, the ones who look at each other like the rest of the world doesn't exist. They fight hard, but they love harder. They may never have a quiet, predictable romance, but why would they want one? Ultimately, the Leo man and Aries woman love story is a fire that doesn't die out. It flickers, flares, sometimes smokes, but it never fades. They're too fascinated by each other to walk away, too proud to give up, and too passionate to settle for anything less than extraordinary. When they learn to honor each other's differences and lead together instead of competing, they don't just fall in love, they stay in love, fiercely and unapologetically. Sex, fire meets fire. When a Leo man and an Aries woman take their chemistry to the bedroom, it's not just physical, it's an act of cosmic theater. This is not the quiet, candlelit kind of intimacy. No, this is sparks flying, pulse racing, all-consuming passion. Both Leo and Aries are fire signs, and in astrology, fire represents more than just desire, it's the hunger to connect, to express, to feel alive. These two don't just want sex, they want an experience, something unforgettable, something that validates their identity, their power, and their place in the world. It's part performance, part war, part poetry, and all fire. The Leo man brings a sense of showmanship to the bedroom. He wants his partner to feel desired, worshipped, and completely captivated. He's not just about pleasure, he's about presence. He takes his time, learns his lover's rhythms, and gives 110%, because for Leo, satisfaction isn't just mutual, it's a reflection of his worth. If his Aries partner is breathless and glowing by the end, he's done his job. His sensual style leans romantic and generous, filled with luxurious touches, lingering kisses, and the kind of attention that makes his partner feel like royalty. Because, after all, what's a king without his queen? Now enter the Aries woman, bold, physical, and brimming with primal energy. She doesn't need to be wooed endlessly, she needs to be met where she already stands, in the arena, ready for action. Aries is assertive in her desire and unapologetic in her needs. She's not waiting for permission, she's taking the lead. While Leo wants to impress, Aries wants to explore. Her sexuality is raw, instinctual, and filled with a hunger for new sensations and new territory. She doesn't need frills, she needs fire. And lucky for her, Leo is more than capable of rising to the challenge. Together, they strike a beautiful and explosive balance. Leo slows Aries down just enough to savor the moment, to draw out the anticipation. Aries speeds Leo up just enough to keep things wild and unpredictable. They don't just make love, they ignite. Each encounter feels like a rediscovery, an adventure into each other's fire. There's no space for inhibition here. Just desire, unfiltered and fearless. But even in the bedroom, egos can flare. Leo needs to feel admired, even in intimacy. He wants to hear it, to know he's amazing, appreciated, adored. Aries, while intense and physical, isn't always emotionally expressive in the same way. Her compliments may be actions rather than words. She's more about doing than saying. If she forgets to affirm him verbally, Leo might start feeling unseen. On the flip side, Leo can occasionally get too wrapped up in the performance and forget that Aries needs spontaneity and mutual control. She doesn't want to be dominated, she wants to co-lead, to co-create the moment. Conflict in the bedroom usually doesn't last long for this pair, though. Their physical connection is too strong, their attraction too magnetic, to let pride or misunderstanding build walls between them for long. In fact, sex can be their reset button. Where words fail, touch speaks. Their bodies understand each other even when their minds clash. They often resolve fights not with long apologies, but with heat and connection that melts everything else away. Over time, their sexual connection only deepens. At first, it's all about thrill and intensity, quick kisses turned long nights, stolen moments charged with adrenaline. But as trust builds, so does vulnerability. Aries lets her guard down. Leo softens his pride. What starts as lust matures into true intimacy, the kind where partners don't just take pleasure, but give it. They learn each other's triggers, both physical and emotional. They discover what calms, what excites, what heals. It becomes less about performance and more about presence. More about the bond. And let's be clear, these two don't get bored. Aries is always ready to try something new, and Leo is more than willing to indulge in fantasy and novelty, as long as the emotional core remains intact. They're the type of couple who might take spontaneous weekend getaways just to spend 3 uninterrupted days lost in each other. Or try new spaces, new games, even new philosophies around sensuality and connection. Because to them, sex isn't just physical, it's a celebration of their relationship. Ultimately, sex between a Leo man and an Aries woman is more than just a fiery encounter, it's a mutual declaration: I see you. I want you. I choose you. Every touch, every look, every moan is an affirmation of their shared power and unyielding desire. Their bedroom isn't a place of rest, it's a sacred battleground where love and lust collide, where fire renews itself again and again. Marriage, a royal partnership or a battle for the throne. When a Leo man and an Aries woman decide to marry, they don't just tie the knot, they forge an alliance. A Leo-Aries marriage is less about white picket fences and Sunday quiet time and more about building an empire together. This is a union of royalty and rebellion, he rules with pride and vision, she leads with courage and fire. Together, they're a power couple in every sense of the word, bold, dynamic, and absolutely unforgettable. But what does that actually look like when the wedding cake is gone and the real work begins? To start, both Leo and Aries are in it for real. Leo doesn't enter relationships lightly. When he gives his heart, he gives it loyally and forever, he's the kind of partner who wants legacy, not just love. Aries, though fast to fall, doesn't stay just to play house, she stays because she respects her partner, sees their strength, and wants to share life's victories side by side. That mutual recognition of ambition and drive forms the foundation of their marriage. They see each other, and not in a soft, poetic way, in a bold, I want to conquer the world with you, kind of way. This mutual fire brings passion, yes, but also purpose. These two rarely settle into monotony. Their marriage is often fueled by projects, travel, creative collaboration, or building something meaningful together, whether that's a business, a family, or a shared dream. Leo provides the stability, the warmth, the show-stopping charisma that draws people to them as a couple. Aries injects energy, momentum, and that unstoppable, let's do it now, spirit. Their home might look like a whirlwind of activity, with schedules packed, ambitions flying high, and laughter echoing off the walls. But the very strengths that make their union magnetic can also cause tension. Leo wants to be the heart of the household, the center of affection and appreciation. He thrives when he feels valued and adored by his partner. Aries, while deeply passionate, doesn't always default to praise, she's more action-oriented than verbal. If she's not careful, Leo may start to feel neglected, even unloved, despite her loyalty. He might not say it, but he needs to feel like the hero of her story. And Aries? She needs space, respect, and the freedom to be exactly who she is, no dimming her light, no playing second to anyone. So, what happens when two natural-born leaders try to share a life? At times, it can feel like two monarchs attempting to rule one kingdom. Decisions, especially big ones, money, parenting, long-term goals, can spark debates. Not because they don't care, but because they care deeply, and neither is known for backing down. Aries can be impulsive, Leo can be stubborn. She wants movement, he wants control. Compromise doesn't always come easily when both believe their way is the right way. However, what sets them apart is their potential for growth. This marriage thrives when both partners learn to lead together rather than wrestle for the throne. Aries learns to slow down and consider the emotional nuances of her lion. Leo learns to loosen the grip and let Aries take the wheel sometimes, even if her path is unpredictable. When they stop competing and start complementing, their relationship evolves from passionate to profound. They're no longer just king and queen, they're co-sovereigns, building a legacy hand in hand. And let's talk about loyalty, because when these two commit, they really commit. Leo is famously loyal, sometimes to a fault. He doesn't like change, especially when it comes to love. Once he's all in, his heart is steadfast, protective, and generous. Aries may not scream loyalty in the traditional sense she does like her freedom, but her loyalty is deeply rooted in respect. If she honors her Leo, she will fight to the death for their marriage. She just doesn't show it with sentimentality, she shows it with action, with fierce protection, and with the kind of ride-or-die mentality that few other signs match. The emotional foundation of their marriage is often underestimated. Beneath the fire, the ambition, the whirlwind of action is a deep, steady love that thrives on mutual admiration. These two are not afraid to show up for each other in times of crisis. When one stumbles, the other charges in without hesitation. Leo wraps his arms around Aries' vulnerability, reminding her that it's okay to lean on someone. Aries defends Leo with ferocity when his pride is bruised or his heart is hurt. They become each other's armor. Friendship, partners in crime. When a Leo man and an Aries woman form a friendship, it doesn't come with quiet handshakes and polite coffee chats, it arrives like a thunderclap. You'll notice them immediately. They're the loudest laugh in the room, the duo daring each other to do the outrageous, the partners who turn mundane days into wild stories. Their connection is as instinctive as it is electric. From the first moment, they recognize something kindred in each other, a shared rhythm, a similar drive, a matching refusal to play it safe. And once they click, this friendship becomes a high-octane, ride-or-die alliance. Let's start with what brings them together, energy. Leo and Aries are two of the most extroverted, thrill-seeking signs in the zodiac. Aries initiates, she's the spark. Leo amplifies, he's the flame. Put them in the same space, and suddenly, life feels like a mission. Whether it's launching a passion project, crashing a last-minute road trip, or throwing an unforgettable party just because it's Tuesday, they thrive in each other's fast-paced orbits. Time spent together rarely involves sitting still. There's always motion, momentum, and just enough mischief to keep things spicy. Their friendship has a foundation of mutual admiration. Aries loves Leo's larger-than-life presence. She sees him not just as a friend, but as someone who inspires her, someone who makes life feel grander just by being in it. She thrives on the attention he naturally draws, and instead of being jealous, she eggs him on. Take the mic, Leo. Steal the show. And Leo? He's captivated by Aries' guts. He loves her raw courage, her fearless decision-making, and the way she lives unapologetically. He respects that she doesn't bend for anyone, and that includes him. This friendship runs on trust and loyalty. Leo is a fixed sign. Once he calls someone his friend, he doesn't just mean, hey, we hang out. He means I'll defend you, protect you, and stand beside you no matter what. Aries may be more independent and self-reliant, but her loyalty is just as intense. She'll drop everything to help someone she cares about. If Leo's in trouble, she's the first to show up. If Aries needs backup, Leo is already warming up his roar. Together, they make an unshakable team. But of course, no fire-based relationship is free from friction. Both Leo and Aries have strong opinions, quick tempers, and egos that bruise easily. They might butt heads over leadership roles, who gets credit, who gets the spotlight, who gets the final say in group plans. Aries doesn't like to be bossed around. Leo doesn't like to be questioned. If one feels overpowered or disrespected, the fallout can be dramatic: harsh words, wounded pride, even temporary silence. The good news? Neither of them stays mad for long. Aries gets over things quickly, she blows up and moves on. Leo may stew a little longer, but he responds to genuine apologies and emotional warmth. Their arguments tend to be volcanic but short-lived. They hash it out, hug it out, and by the next day, they're texting memes and planning the next adventure. One of the most beautiful things about their friendship is how much they motivate each other. Aries will challenge Leo to act on his dreams instead of just talking about them. She'll say, "Stop planning the party, throw it." Leo, in turn, will remind Aries that long-term vision matters, that it's okay to pause and think before charging in. He'll say, "You can win the battle, but aim to win the war." They bring out each other's ambition and bravery in equal measure. When one of them hits a wall, the other becomes a cheerleader, a coach, or sometimes, a drill sergeant. They also complement each other emotionally, in ways few people expect. Aries, who often feels she has to be the strong one, finds in Leo a friend who sees her strength and doesn't try to tame it. Leo, who secretly fears being taken for granted, finds in Aries a friend who not only appreciates him but doesn't sugarcoat her love. It's blunt, real, and passionate. They help each other feel both powerful and safe, validated and challenged. This friendship is also unusually fun. Aries and Leo share a playful side that never fades, even with age. They're the kind of friends who still play pranks in their 30s, still crash concerts in their 40s, and still inspire each other to keep dreaming big in their 50s. They never stop pushing the boundaries of fun, which means their bond never grows stale. There's always something new to try, something wild to plan, some outrageous idea to explore. In short, the friendship between a Leo man and an Aries woman is an unfiltered, unbreakable blend of fire and loyalty. It's high volume, high impact, and high reward. They lift each other up, call each other out, and never let the other settle for less than extraordinary. It's not always smooth. It's not always simple. But it's always real. Business, a dynamic duo or a clash of bosses. When a Leo man and an Aries woman step into the world of business together, it's not a quiet entrance, it's a bold declaration. This isn't a partnership that blends into the background. No, this is a power combo that turns heads, takes risks, and demands results. Leo is the CEO who walks into the pitch room like he owns it. Aries is the strategist who gets things done before anyone else even finds the starting line. Together, they're magnetic, visionary, and fearless. But can they run a successful business without stepping on each other's egos? First, let's talk synergy. Leo is ruled by the Sun, Aries by Mars. That makes Leo the visionary, the charismatic frontman, the born leader who thrives when he's admired and respected. He excels at branding, storytelling, and inspiring people to believe in a dream, even if that dream doesn't exist yet. Aries is the warrior. She's fast, decisive, and hands-on. She doesn't just talk strategy, she executes. If Leo sees the mountaintop, Aries starts climbing before the meeting's even over. When these two combine forces, something magical happens. Leo brings presence and polish, Aries brings momentum and drive. Think of Leo as the architect and Aries as the builder. Leo crafts the big vision, outlines the empire, and sets the tone for success. Aries gets her hands dirty, bulldozes through red tape, and launches things into motion at warp speed. If aligned, they can scale a business faster than most people finish a business plan. They also push each other to be better. Leo, while inspiring, can sometimes get lost in the theatrics of leadership. He wants to look good, feel appreciated, and create something grand. Aries helps keep him grounded. She calls out fluff, demands action, and refuses to let style come before substance. Meanwhile, Leo helps Aries refine her execution. She's fast, sometimes impulsive, and can bulldoze over nuance. Leo helps her slow down, polish her pitch, and think 2 steps ahead. They don't let each other settle, and that can turn into a secret weapon, if they respect each other's process. But let's not sugarcoat the pitfalls, both want to lead. And in business, two leaders with strong personalities can either co-pilot the rocket or try to yank the wheel in opposite directions. Aries doesn't like being told what to do, especially not by someone she thinks is more focused on image than impact. Leo doesn't like being challenged, especially not in front of others. If they're not careful, boardroom meetings can start to feel like a chess match with too many queens. So how do they make it work? Role clarity. These two need well-defined lanes. If Leo is in charge of public relations, big picture strategy, and team morale, Aries should handle operations, timelines, and innovation. She's the fuel, he's the flame. She makes things happen fast, he ensures they shine when they do. When they stay in their strengths and trust each other, there's little they can't accomplish. Trust is the other big ingredient. Leo needs to know that Aries isn't challenging him to compete, she's challenging him to elevate. Aries needs to know that Leo's need for admiration isn't ego for ego's sake, it's his fuel. When they get this, they stop seeing each other as obstacles and start recognizing each other as assets. There's also the emotional side to consider. Business isn't just spreadsheets and strategy, it's also stress, setbacks, and high stakes. Leo, while confident, can feel crushed if he senses failure or embarrassment. Aries, while bold, can get frustrated by inefficiency or indecision. In hard moments, they need different things. Leo needs reassurance that the mission is still noble and respected. Aries needs action and a clear plan. If they can learn to give each other emotional support tailored to these needs, they don't just survive the lows, they strengthen because of them. Their communication style also plays a huge role. Aries is direct, sometimes too direct. She tells it like it is, whether you're ready to hear it or not. Leo, on the other hand, wants diplomacy. He prefers feedback wrapped in gold ribbon. If Aries can temper her tone without losing her honesty, and Leo can accept critique without internalizing it as an attack, their communication becomes a superpower. They'll move fast, speak clearly, and make decisions that others would agonize over. And when it works, it really works. Their business isn't just successful, it's iconic. They build brands that inspire, launch campaigns that trend, lead teams that adore them for their passion, clarity, and courage. They're not just profitable, they're memorable. The kind of leaders who show up in magazines, on podcasts, in headlines. Final thoughts. So, are they soulmates or sparks that fade? Leo man and Aries woman compatibility is fiery, passionate, and intense. It's a relationship full of energy, adventure, and mutual admiration. They understand each other on a primal level. They both want to be seen, appreciated, and respected, and if they can learn to offer those things to each other, they could be one of the most powerful couples in the zodiac. Are there challenges? Absolutely. But the potential rewards, epic love, unforgettable memories, a bond that inspires, are worth it. Because when a king and a warrior queen fall in love, the world better take notice. If you enjoyed this deep dive into zodiac compatibility, hit that like button, subscribe for more astro stories, and check the links in the description to follow us on social media. Let's keep the cosmic conversation going, because the stars always have more to say.